as a native of Atlanta, I have the utmost respect for T.I. So do I have the utmost respect for Kim Kardashian.
On the same level?
In this situation, when you're asking a question, who has more influence, I would have to say Kim Kardashian has more influence than T.I.
That's unfortunate.
But we're talking not personally. I'm talking about just global presence.
I'm not saying it personally either.
Okay.
If Kim Kardashian, if it is a fact that Kim Kardashian has more influence than a man who sold millions of albums of what he said, that's a damn shame. Kim Kardashian ain't talking about shit. She's hustling. Everything she do is a calculated move that is allowed.
Hey friends, this is T again with another reaction video, and today we're going to be doing a reaction on Corey Holcomb says nothing is off limits, Diddy, Trump, Kamala, Dr. Brian, hypocrisy, and religion. Now, there's a lot of subjects being discussed on Cam Newton's channel, but the one I want to focus on is relationships. Corey Holcomb is a comedian from my understanding, and he's being pretty raw on this video, and he says a lot about a lot of things, and that's usually a norm when it comes down to Cam Newton's videos. But I just want to focus today on specific things, okay? Relationships. And when they talk about relationships, it usually falls into relationships with black women, okay? You can throw all women into this particular subject, but I think they mostly ever talk about is black women. And some of the things he says is going to be very offensive to black women, okay? Very. But that's just the nature of things when you're honest. People sometimes get offended over this. And Jordan Peterson said something about when you're trying to get to the truth, sometimes doing that can offend people. It's just the risk you take when you talk. And this comedian, which all comedians usually say what's on their mind just to be funny, this guy's used to saying whatever he wants. And so he comes on Cam Newton and start talking about these particular subjects. And like I said, it pisses off a lot of women, specifically black women. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into this reaction. But before we do, please like, subscribe, and share this video. And don't forget to hit that notification bell. That way you know whenever we come out with new videos, okay? All right, let's get with it. All right, let's go ahead and start off the video with this. Now, Cam Newton and Corey Holcomb are talking about T.I. and Kim Kardashian, who got more influence. Corey Holcomb said that he believes T.I., at least in his eyes, got more influence because, you know, because he sold all these albums, because he's very influential, all this kind of stuff. But Cam Newton says that he believes Kim Kardashian do. Now, they're about to get into it, and he says a lot of crazy stuff about Kim Kardashian, which I have to agree with a lot of it. I do. You know what I mean? Because you got to remember, she started off with a sex tape and all kind of stuff, allegedly orchestrated by her mother. And, you know, all the stuff that they did is pretty superficial, you know, the fashion thing, the makeup thing, all that stuff, right? And then dating about 50 million men and all this stuff, right? Nothing he feels like is good for our community, especially for women. And this is the back and forth they have. But I'm going to have to admit, I have to agree with Cam Newton. I think Kim Kardashian does have more influence because more people are willing to deal with her despite her past. And T.I., he always, and this is the thing I got it with rappers, man. They always stick to this little bubble all the time. They never expand like they should. Not like people like Jay-Z, for example, or, you know, other big rappers like Kanye. Even though a lot of them are going through a whole bunch of junk, you can even include Diddy. They like to expand on their things, on their careers. They don't just stick to rap. They go to clothing and try to sell makeup and things of that sort. They expand, even though right now they're imploding right now, but you at least got to give them credit for looking outside the box. And that's what Kim Kardashian do. And unfortunately, T.I. don't do that most of the time. They stick to the same crazy ratchet crap that most rappers stick to. And that's the reason why I have to agree with Cam Newton when it comes down to who got more influence, Kim Kardashian. But the reason why I wanted to watch this clip, because he's going to be talking about a certain subject, and I believe it's going to be about BBLs. I haven't heard it yet, but he's going to talk about BBLs, and I guess it's going to be reference to why women are upset, because a lot of women, especially black women, are getting BBLs. And I think he feel like this is a bad thing, which most people do, because it's a dangerous procedure, very dangerous. And men don't ask for this. I know a lot of rappers or whatever date women with BBLs and all that kind of stuff, but men don't ask for it. And I heard another woman say that women doing all this crap aren't doing it for men. They mostly doing it for other women, okay? So he's going to talk about that, and I just want to get into what he has to say, okay? So let's go ahead and get started.
If we don't say it's a tragical impact, we're not doing the people a favor. Bitches look ridiculous trying to look like these girls. They got before pictures of how them girls look. Now they have perfected a superficial look that, unfortunately, girls don't even go take the garbage out with putting on all they fucking, I call it their uniform. They glamour face. The shit ain't real. You know what I'm saying? You gotta learn how to perfect yourself in a way where you don't have to go and get on the plane and go over there to the Dominican and get your little inner tube put in your ass and they think that, I'm gonna tell you something, all you beautiful women out there, if you change your body into something like that, I promise you, in the eyes of everybody that count male, you just a fuck toy.
I totally agree with that. Now, women have been surviving this way for the longest, right? They would crush their feet like you go. I think it was either China or Japan, but I think it's more like China. I think it's Japan. Women back in the day used to crush their feet to make they give the illusion to make their foot look smaller, especially if they huge feet. Because men judged on these things and they knew it. So they go through the extreme by crushing their toes so their feet can look smaller, which I think is very extreme. Or in England, they used to wear these really, really tight things. You can see it in, what's that movie called? You can see it in the Titanic. I'm sorry. It just left my mind for a second, right? When there was a scene where her mother was like really, really, really tightening this thing under her clothes to, give the illusion of her having a small waist, okay? So women have been like for centuries doing the extreme to attract a mate, especially a rich mate, because that's what most women want. They want rich men. That's the way it is. So they're willing to go through extra extremes to get to these men, to get their attention. That's what all the makeup and the fake hair and the BBLs and all this kind of stuff. This is not a new thing. Even though the procedures are different, but these extremities that these women are going through to get these men aren't new. I mean, go to Africa, women used to put all these things in their around their necks, these rings around their neck to make it look like it's longer and thinner or whatever, and bones through their nose, all kind of stuff. I guess they was like the men like that kind of thing, but women, just like I said, this is not new. Women have used delusions to make men attracted. But then once they got that ring on their finger, and that's pretty much it. The man got to put up with what he got at that point. He started to realize, okay. And I think most rich men know that these women are going through a lot of procedures to attract them. Look at, for example, Lauren Sanchez, okay? She's the one now, I'm assuming she's married to Jeff Bezos. You can tell she went through a lot of procedures, right? You know what I mean? Allegedly, all right? It looks, to me, it looks like she has, in my opinion, anyway. You know what I mean? So, but he likes it. But you think he don't know she went through this stuff. He might not say it, but a lot of these rich guys don't seem to care about it, right? I guess there's other factors about these women that they like, so they willing to put up with all these extra things, right? I think she looked more attractive originally, way back in years before I believe she had these procedures. Now, I don't think she's coming out saying she had these procedures. That's why I'm saying allegedly. But I believe she has done it. And I think she looked better when she was younger. But it is what it is, right? That's how things are going. That's what a lot of these women believe. A lot of these men with money, high value men, want all these women to have all these procedures. Breast augmentation, BBLs, bigger lips, Botox, all these other crazy things women are putting their body through, and they don't realize what they're doing to themselves. Because a lot of I mean, right now, cancer and all these ailments coming in, to women right now. I'm starting to wonder if all these procedures are causing a lot of this stuff. Right, the medical profession is not talking about it, but it's like a woman putting a lot of objects in their bodies that's not natural, and you don't know what this stuff doing to them long term. So I guess he's trying to express, this is dangerous, and you're going through all this trouble just to attract a man instead of working on your character, instead of working on trying to be a future good wife or a future good mother or things that's really important, and also religion, something that grounds you. Okay, instead of concentrating on these particular things, these women are doing more stuff like BBLs and fake lips and all this other crazy stuff they do. And sometimes even dyeing their eyeballs. I mean, crazy stuff, man. But I agree with him, though. I agree with him. And the last point he made was, these guys going to look at you as an F toy. And I don't think it bothers these women. They just want to get in the door. Either they're going to get a ring or they're going to get a settlement. One or the other. You know what I'm saying? They're going to get something out of it. They just want to get in the door. And these things get them in the door. But let's continue.
You ain't nothing that nobody finna hold up. Learn how to perfect what God gave you, because it looks better that way than to walk around with all this nonsense going on with you. Because I'm telling you now, I just don't know. I just don't know a lot of girls who did that who are truly happy, because I see them when I'm through with them. They don't want their wig to come off. They don't want this to be seen and all like that. It's Kim Kardashian and her family have negatively impacted so many women in this world. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And you would never hear this on ESPN, because that's how they want you to look. They want you to look like a goddamn fool with all that shit on you, where you just don't look right. You look like something that's put together to be fucked.
Because, it's like a lot of these women look the same. You go on ESPN, you go on Entertainment Tonight, and all these women that's doing news and all this stuff, they look the same because they doing the same procedures. And they doing it in a way where they all look alike. And like I say, I believe a lot of them doing it, comparing themselves with other women, so they can do these TikToks and they can do Instagram and all this kind of stuff. Because men do respond, but they respond in a way that's not going to be good for the woman long term. They do, like Corey Holcomb said, they do want to have sex with you. Now, is it possible that can develop into a relationship? Yeah, that's possible. But long term, it doesn't. But these women, I think, don't care. They want to be able to get what they can out of the situation. It's just like women working in adult movies or women working in a strip joint or whatever, right? They gonna get whatever they can right then and there, okay? They're gonna get as much money as possible. They're gonna get as much, material things as possible, even clout, whatever, right? And that's what they want. That's why they do this. And they want to stand out. And if getting BBLs, bigger lips, longer hair, a lighter skin, whatever have you, is going to get that man's attention, that's going to happen. And a lot of these boys, young men in sports, are gravitating to these women. And let's use Drea Michelle as an example. She's dating this basketball player, whatever his name is. You can tell that she might have done some alterations to herself, right? Allegedly. I just need to say that. Because she's getting older now. And when you start getting older, especially as a woman, things start to shift and change. So right now they're relying heavily on cosmetic surgeries right now. And especially now that they're trying to go after these young boys, okay? So it's very important. And it doesn't matter if this guy, because this dude got another baby by another woman pretty much at the same time he got her pregnant. So it's not a relationship that they really looking for. They just looking for the benefits, the perks. That's all they want. And it's really, really, really crazy, man. It's really crazy, okay? And being married and all that kind of stuff, I think it's not as important to women as it used to be now. Now that they feel like they can get all these things without that, okay? Sometimes they get married, man, because they want that end. But somehow I don't think love really have anything to do with it in a lot of cases. In a lot of cases. But these women don't like men like Corey Holcomb talking about these things and being straight up and honest, because it kind of outs them in a way. It kind of make men more aware, and they don't want men aware of what they're doing, because it's getting harder and harder for them to fool these guys, because you got the internet out there talking about the red pill and all these other things. It's kind of revealing their little slick ways, and men are starting to catch on. So it's like I said, it's getting harder and harder for them to fool men these days, you know? Yeah, you can tell by the look on Cam's face he's getting a little uncomfortable with this, right? Because I believe most of his supporters are women. Even though when I first came across this dude, because I didn't know who this dude was. Right? I mean, I heard stuff about him in football. I believe he's in football. But other than that, I don't know who this dude was, right? But I came across him, from my understanding, he was just pissing everybody off, right? And I think now a lot of his guests think they can come on his show and say whatever they want. Because, you know, a lot of these shows talking about they're unfiltered. For example, like Piers Morgan, but then he turned around and apologizing to Jay-Z and Beyonce over something a guest said. So I think he wants to be open and unfiltered and all of this. But as the more popular he becomes, I think he's going to try to start calming a lot of that down, okay? Because he don't want to lose that money. You know what I mean? So after a while, he could be like, y'all need to chill out on some of this stuff. Or he might just edit it out or something, right? But he got to pretend like you could come on the show and just say whatever you want. But that's going to be a problem for him in the future. Now, back to the subject. I do agree with what he said, man. I mean, like, it's harsh reality. But women need to really understand. Now, there's some women out there, man, like Sexy Red and all this kind of stuff, that don't give a crap, man. They go out there and do whatever they want. They don't care how it looks. And matter of fact, it attracts what they want. If you want a thug, a ghetto guy, a boy, or what have you, then this is the route to go. But most of them, most women don't want this. But yet they following behind these women thinking this is what men want. And his point is, men don't really want that. Now, if you're a woman, like you missing your butt is flat or your chest is flat, and you're just trying to fill up these spaces, okay, as natural as possible, I think men are okay with that. I think that would enhance your body. And like women have large nose and they want to make it smaller. I have no issues with that either, you know. It ain't like we're going out of the way saying, hey, you need to do this, that. I mean, maybe it's a small amount of guys that do it, but most men ain't trying to make you change your looks if they like you. But they're not going to get upset over these things. It's these huge BBLs that look weird. They look crazy. You could tell they're going for the rappers when them jokers are huge. It makes their body look just out of whack, man. It just look weird on them, okay? So you can tell. It's just like back in the day, like with the Playboy models, when they used to get large breasts, you know, it just made them look like, you know, F dolls, you know what I mean? It wasn't natural looking. But, you know, the guys that came to Hugh Hefner's house or mansion, you know, they like that kind of stuff because it's perverted. And they don't care, you know. They look at these women as just sex objects. They didn't care, you know what I mean? But it's not something you want as a wife. Somebody's taking care of your children. I'm talking about normal world here. I ain't talking about Hollywood crazy. I'm talking about normal world. But these people are so wrapped up now in social media and want to be famous and celebrities. They altering themselves to me looking really, really weird. Really weird, man. Really weird. Okay, and they don't think it looks weird. I mentioned Laura Sanchez. She's I guess she's married. I'm assuming she's married to Jeff Bezos, right? When I saw older pictures of her, she looked really beautiful and natural. Now she don't, in my opinion, okay? And I think it's plastic surgery, allegedly, okay? I don't know for a fact if it is, but it looks like it to me, okay? It just, these things, I don't know, women look at this stuff and thinking it looks great, but it doesn't. It really, really doesn't. But they get what they want because Laura Sanchez, she got Jeff Bezos to marry her, or at least they engaged or something like that, right? So she got what she wants. But she probably got other things about her that he likes. I mean, flying a helicopter, that's pretty cool, man. I think that's really cool. And she keeping her body tight, man. I have to admit that too. She's not hideous looking in the face, but you just can tell something was done. It just looks that way. But she keeping herself looking good at her age, the best she can or whatever. So it worked for her, right? And I think a lot of women look at this stuff and say, if I go to the plastic surgeon and change all this stuff, maybe it'll help me. But then they take it too far. And that's what he's pretty much saying. They just look unreal, man. It just don't look natural anymore. And it looks crazy.
I know you probably, I got to tell you something, Kim. You said you got a kid?
Yes, sir.
Listen, bro. You don't make broken homes. Women make broken homes. When you have a child by a man, I think it is your duty to make sure your child knows his father, is around his father, and finds a way. You, as a woman, you need to find a way to make peace with the father of your children. Because if you have peace with the father of your children, it'll never be a broken home. The man can gather his children and grow his kingdom. And if
Okay, that's crazy talk. That's crazy talk. You know, I just want to make a point about something. The way they dress it, man, right? They bring in pimping back again. Something about rich black men, at least celebrities anyway, they really be putting on some crazy stuff, man. And I don't know why they do it. You know, maybe it's the people they hang around with. Maybe they think you're going to attract a certain type of demographic or whatever, man. You know, I know the entertainers or, you know, sports guys, stuff like that, man. But this is a little extreme right here, man. I really don't know why they keep going there. I mean, the hat is ridiculous, but at least most of his stuff look normal, man. But all this, man, is a little too much, okay? But to get back to what he said, man, no, he makes broken homes too. It ain't just the women. He making it too. He trying to make some excuse because he know he don't want to push back against them, or, you know, because he probably want the same thing, right? It seems like a lot of these guys, like Nick Cannon and all of them, man, they want to spray they seed all over the place, man. And they are making a bunch of broken homes. I do, excuse the airplane, I do disagree with him on that. Highly disagree. If you decide to make a baby with a woman, make it with one. And stay in that relationship. You know what I mean? Don't get a bunch of women pregnant, man. And then, I mean, you can they're always saying stuff like, "Oh, I'm part of the kids' lives" and stuff like that. But it's still a broken home, right? Because you don't have any type of relationship with the mother. The only reason why you're even dealing with her is because she has your kid. But it's not a relationship. So it's a broken home. So right now, it seems like if women get upset over that statement, I get it. Because it's not just the women, man. It's the men, too. And now he's trying to get into some kind of explanation about building a kingdom. I got to hear the whole thing, man. I need to hear what he has to say.
If you still want to play sometime, you could be part of the kingdom in the back somewhere. But I'm just saying, ain't no such thing as a man creating a broken home. Now, if I got pregnant and I didn't let the kid see their mama, I would be creating broken homes. Men are not capable of creating broken homes.
Yeah, that's nonsense. That's nonsense. That's nonsense, man. I totally disagree with him. That is broken homes. These women don't have husbands, but they got, sorry to say, bastard children. You know what I mean? Unless they can find a man and marry them and adopt their kids, which I doubt if he let that happen. It just, these women are single women with a bunch of bastard kids. And then they go out, start to have sex with other men and start popping out children for them too. Going back to Drea Michelle. She already got a kid by another man. I think she was messing with some guy named Safari, a singer. Got kids by him. Now she out there making more. It seems they don't stop with them. And yeah, definitely, women make broken homes. Most definitely. Definitely. But the men are contributing to that mess. Just find a wife. Look, if you want to sleep around, that's your affair, okay? But it's almost like they purposely doing it. And making excuses for it, like this dude doing right now. Because he might have a bunch of kids. I don't know. Like I said, if he's a comedian, he ain't that funny, man. I'm going to be honest with you, man. If he's, only thing funny about him is that outfit. But other than that, man, he ain't that funny. But I don't know if he's just trying to be funny or what. But that's crazy talk. Crazy talk.
I want to take this conversation to really just celebrities in this Is it a realistic expectation for a man of power to have one woman?
I don't think it happens that often. Like, I would say it's very rare. Out of 100 men with power, you might find 2 that only have one woman.
And when you say 2 with one woman, what's the time frame of you being with one woman? You talking about a lifetime, you talking about 10 months, you talking about 10 years, you talking about the tenure of their whole relationship?
Well, it really depends when you really think about it, right? Now, if he really loves her and want to build a dynasty, it's still that chance he can fool around with her, or he might got a freak on his hands. Other words, she might be open to, doing group sex situations and things of that sort, so he keeps her around. Let me use Demi Moore, for example. There was rumors during these Diddy white parties when she was with Ashton Kutcher, and that she was supposedly, allegedly into group stuff, okay? Because I guess he was allegedly into that too. So a lot of these guys will marry these women knowing that they freaks, so they don't have a problem with bringing women into the mix. They might be bisexual or they just freaky, okay? So we're talking about powerful men here. We ain't just talking about average dudes, okay? We're talking about powerful men, right? These women are willing to put up with more things. And when men got power and they can get away with it, they'll have multiple women. All these women that dated Diddy, man, Cassie, J-Lo, all these women, they knew he was out there having affairs. They knew he was a sexual being. He was doing all kind of crazy stuff. They knew it. They knew it when they got into it. I did a video about vetting, right? Women don't vet rich men. They don't vet. They just want part of the lifestyle. They don't vet them. They know what these men are capable of, and they know what they're doing. So these guys, it's not really getting away with it. It's these women allowing it to happen. They just allowing it to happen. They like, I don't care, man. You rich, good looking, whatever. I'm going to get with you. I know you sleeping with all these women because that was J-Lo's excuse. I broke up with him because I guess I wasn't woman enough for him to stay, not stray. No, it had nothing to do with that, man. A man's appetite is big. And when he got money, he have options. That's why most guys are trying to get rich. That's the only reason why guys. I mean, it's nice having a plane or a yacht or all these other things, right? But it's really not much without women. I don't think men would strive so much if it weren't for women. And just like Myron say on Fresh and Fit, man, he's not gonna work that hard just to have one woman. Because none of these guys do it, man. And if it has this appearance that these guys are just with one woman, they might be just married to one woman, but it's a good chance either he's fooling around on her or they having threesomes and things of that sort. She does what she need to do. Because Jane Fonda hit on that when she mentioned when she was with Ted, that rich dude, forgot his name, that I think is with him, might have been with somebody else, I don't know, but she said whoever she was involved with at that time, that they were doing like threesomes and all kind of stuff. But it wasn't really up to her. She didn't want it. She did it because he wanted it. You know what I'm saying? So it looks to us like it's just a nice, beautiful relationship. Then you find out, man, when they come out with these books or whatever, that he involved her into bringing more women into it. And it depends on your flavor, because they said Diddy might be bi. So he might bring men into that. But if you're just a regular rich dude and you just like women, you're bringing women into it. And she's okay with that. She is. But I have to admit, man, these guys are right about that. If you're rich and powerful, man, and you're a woman and you want to be involved with a man like that, be prepared to share him. Be prepared. And I think most women understand that.
I'm saying, Cam, every once in a while you find a dude, he only is with his woman. It's very rare. But every once in a while, you'll be like, wow, that mother, he only fuck with his wife.
Now, this is where, since we're having this conversation, is there ever a time that you've came around a person and you'd be like, yo, like that dude, I ain't got to worry about him. I know that he promotes what he's talking about. See what I'm saying? Like, being with one woman, you know that's him. You feel what I'm saying? There's some people who promote, I'm married, but behind the scenes, it's like...
Of course. I got homies, man.
Well, it depends on what you do. Now, if you're a rich rapper, I mean, you don't care. you gonna mess around or whatever. And these women act like they don't understand. Like Cardi B don't understand. Offset might be, with another woman, and she got to share him. She don't want to accept that reality. She want him for herself. And she might have engaged in, certain type of activities. You know what I'm saying? I don't know for a fact or whatever, right? But obviously, his temptation is larger than just having her or just sharing her with another woman. He wants another woman on the side, and most of these men have it. I was watching a documentary or about a lot of these women in China. They were like side women, right? So these guys would like get them a nice little apartment. These married men now, they get this side chick a nice little apartment to stay in while they going to college or whatever. These relationships don't last usually, right? But it's long enough for the man until he can find somebody else, right? But most of these women that marry these rich men know that these guys got side women. But even then, sometimes they get furious about it. Cause I remember watching that documentary. There was this woman. She was highly upset. She started to go after not only the woman that her husband was having an affair with, but she started to make some kind of company where she was having other women go after other side chicks. Okay, so some women can't accept it, and it's all like that situation with Beyonce and Jay-Z when her sister and him was fighting in the elevator because he was messing around with was it Vicky or somebody with the good hair or whatever she made that song about. So it's like some women can't handle it, but at the least they don't want nobody else to know that they're going through it because it makes them look bad. So, but like I say, if you're a woman and you decide you want to go mess with a man like that, that's on you. But like I say, a rapper, he's no big deal. If you get caught, no big deal. But if somebody like in a prestige position, let's just say a rich, like Osteen, for example, right? He's supposed to be a pastor, okay? But either way, if he found out that he's having an affair on his wife, that would, damage his reputation as a pastor, okay? Pastor, okay? So it depends on your job. It depends on what kind of what you're trying to portray in the public, basically, okay? So, that's what it really depends on. A lot of guys, rich men, don't care. They just businessmen. They out there. They having affairs on their wife. They got side chicks in apartments and all kind of stuff. Matter of fact, when I worked as a maintenance man, right, it was a few guys in there, man. They had women and they had like side chicks in these apartments and stuff. They'll come visit. So it happens. When you got money and power, these women willing to share you, man. Just the way it is. It's even mentioned in the Bible that there gonna be women just wanting that a man's last name. That's it. They just want his last name because they can't get married. So they do anything. They'll even share a man. Okay? So when you're rich and powerful, yeah, it's most likely.
And they are preachers. And I just laugh at them. They
Why can't I look at so serious, man? Why ain't he laughing? It's almost like everything that coming out this guy's mouth, Cam just looking at him all serious, right? Why ain't he laughing and partaking in it, right? I'm telling you, man, his channel's growing, and he after a while he gonna have to start chilling out on a lot of stuff he's saying, because sooner or later somebody gonna blame him for one of his guests saying certain things, just like it happened to Piers Morgan. With the situation where he had to apologize to Jay-Z and Beyonce, even though he didn't say it, he still did it. He removed the video and apologized. Crazy, man, crazy. But you notice he ain't laughing though, right?
Oh, this Christianity in there. But they not living that life. I'm not saying they bad people, because I got friends they're good people, but it's all a joke. It's really a joke. You ain't living that life. You know what I'm saying? Because it's too hard to live that life. It takes a lot of discipline to live that life that you're talking about Christianity-wise. You know what I'm saying?
Now, there are also...
I think I do agree with him. I don't think it's impossible. I think a lot of regular men that just having one wife and to share that life with that one woman because they want to follow God. Like, for example, what's his name? He part of the Daily Wire. Ben Shapiro. He just got one wife. I literally believe he just got one woman, and that's it. He said he was a virgin when he met his wife. I believe he just got one woman. Do he have desires for other women? Possibly. I'm sure he do. He a man, but he stays faithful to her, from my understanding. So I can believe that. And when it comes to regular men, most regular men probably can stay faithful to a woman, even when they have desires. Rich men, on the other hand, that's a different story, man. When you can fly anywhere in the world and have pretty much any woman you want, why would you not do it? And I'm not condoning it. I'm not condoning it. But why wouldn't you do it? Especially when you know, basically, when women know that you're going to do it. Because a lot of the time, when these women go after these men, they look at these men background. And a lot of these men are famous, so they know these guys sleep around. All of a sudden, you expect them to stop because he married you? I don't think Jeff Bezos was out there sleeping with a bunch of women. I mean, there's no records or videos or anything about him doing it. He had a wife, he divorced her, now he got a new one. I never heard about him being out there sleeping with a ton of women. I never heard about it. Okay? I'm not saying it didn't happen, I'm just saying I never heard about it. So, when a woman go after him, she probably really thinking this guy's faithful. At least until he find another wife. Okay? But people like, I don't know, a rapper or a football player, or somebody rich, you know, Cam, for example, Cam Newton, for example, you really can't expect him or Nick Cannon to just have one woman, man. You just ain't gonna expect it, man. If you get with this dude and you really think that he's not gonna have other women in his life, you crazy. You crazy or you're a liar. You know what I mean? And that's what gets me about black women when they go after rappers, man. They really, really think these guys gonna be faithful to them. Or they stepping out some kind of agreement or boundary that they have or something like that. And it pisses them off and make them look bad. So they overreact. Because, you know, look at Cardi B, for example, right? She bragging about, you know, being married, having kids and stuff like that, family unit and stuff. You know, just like Nicki Minaj, right? But it makes them look bad when these guys step out on them. That's why they flip out and go crazy and go on TikTok and Instagram and whine about it and threaten it for divorce and all this other stuff, right? But I think she's going to get back with Offset. I really do. I don't think she want to let that man go. Because other women want him. And she's not trying to share her baby daddy with other women. Well, she married to him, but you know what I'm saying. So it's very interesting, very interesting. But I do agree with him, though, man. This, as a Christian, if you're rich, that's very difficult. Very difficult.
Celebrities who have accepted the poly and non-monogamous relationships, some we know, Will Smith and Jada, they've been open about they have an open relationship.
Took them forever. It's because she got caught. It's because she got caught. That's the reason why they open now about it.
Relationship.
But Will like guys.
Huh?
Will like guys.
How you know?
I live in LA.
Now, see, this is what I'm talking about right here. It don't matter if Will Smith like guys or not. If Will Smith say he don't like guys, that's defamatory, man. And he can get sued for that. He really got to be careful about what he say. He need to clean this up. He need to clean this up. But this is past the point of what we're talking about here. And the reason why I was doing this video is because, you know, because women, man, have these expectations. They go out there and change their bodies, thinking they're gonna get some rich dude, and then at the same time they think that they the only one can have him. And then sometimes when they do agree with him having extra women, you know, like threesomes or whatever, right? These men, it's still boundaries for these men, and these men don't want boundaries. They rich. Men, we talking about like 100 million and up, or billionaires. They rich. They don't want no boundaries. Yeah, you're gonna share the bed with other women. But he want more. He want a side chick when he can get away from you. He want to live in a separate house. He want to sleep in a separate bed. He don't tell you his personal business. You know, even though y'all married, he keeping his finances closed just in case you come out there one day. Okay, so you know, I'm just saying, man. A lot of these women don't like what he's saying, and like I said, I don't agree with everything he says. But these women, they know that he's right about a lot of the stuff he's saying. And they're angry about it because he's saying it out loud. He's saying it out loud, and they pissed off about that. But it's not going to change their behavior. I just think it's going to get worse. They're going to keep doing it. keep getting these BBLs, keep getting plastic surgery on their faces, breasts, and all that kind of. They're gonna keep doing it, man, because this is the pattern that is set now. Okay, when women go to a certain place, you can't reverse it. It can't be reversed. I don't care what men say or what men do. It can't be reversed. Even though these women are crashing, doesn't matter. They see other women crashing. It don't matter. They're going to continue doing it. It's crazy stuff, man. But this is the world we live in right now. And it's not going to change. It's just going to get worse. If you're a woman out there, listen to this man, man. Don't just listen with your feelings. Really listen with your intelligence. Listen to what he's saying, man. Do not put yourself in this situation. Don't change your body, man, when this stuff can be poisonous. We talking about Botox, BBLs, all that stuff, man. It breaks, it leaks into your body, and God knows what it'll do to you in the future. Don't do it, man. Don't do it. Find yourself a man that loves you. And personally, as a Christian, I say, if you're a Christian, find yourself a godly woman, man. Definitely. But, for the rest of y'all, man, just find somebody that you got the same values with, okay? Don't be changing your body and all the other crazy junk because you want a rich man. Because when they talked about these Japanese women breaking their toes and all this kind of stuff, and all these extreme measures these women take to get men, they're usually going after rich men. Or they were side chicks or something like that. They didn't want to live in poverty anymore. And that usually happens to a lot of women that come from poverty. They do extreme stuff to try to get rich men in that rich lifestyle, even if they side chicks. It's a terrible, terrible thing, man. Terrible. It's not something we should do, not something we should, promote or anything like that. And that's the reason why so many people are hard on the Kardashians and the Jenners, because they promote this crap, but they're getting rich from it though. But in the end, just like always, these things will come down crashing. It will come down crashing at some point. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. I'm gonna leave the link below. That way you can watch this video in its entirety. I might do more videos on Cam Newton, man. He's like I said, he's becoming more and more popular, and he's starting to have really interesting guests. But at some point, man, these women gonna come after him for these things. He allowing these men to come on his thing, so these feminists gonna start coming after him. Depends on how popular he gets. Because he used to say outrageous stuff too, man. They used to come after him then, man. But now he's sitting there quiet, man, letting his guests do it. But he think he's gonna be safe, but they're gonna still come after him at some point. You cannot be a man and say the truth on the internet without somebody coming after you. You can't. They made it clear. All right, I really appreciate all of you coming by. Thanks again. This is T and Peace.
Vanity is dirt. It's a major sin. You know what I'm saying? If you out here getting a BBL because you want to look a certain way, you a crazy bitch and will be treated as so in the long run by me.